So, hello everyone. Welcome to Educational Friday. My name is Mohammed Mqadmi, and as usual, I'll be hosting today's session. First off, a huge shout out to all of you for being here. Whether you're new to Web3 or already building, this is the space to learn, discuss, and grow together. That's our mindset. At Dar Blockchain, we believe knowledge should be open and accessible, which is why we're running these free sessions every Friday. What's our goal is to together break down blockchain, Web3, and crypto in a way that makes sense. So before we get started, a few quick guidelines so the session go as smooth as it can be. First rule, respect the flow. When someone's speaking, let them finish before jumping in. Second rule, use the chat. Okay, drop your questions anytime. We'll get to as many as we can. You got also the raise hand button if you want to speak. Yes, we want this to be interactive. And no gatekeeping. Whether you're a beginner or a pro, everyone's here to learn. So, this session is for you, so don't hold back. Ask as many questions as you can or as you want. Challenge ideas and share your thoughts. By the end, we want you to leave with a clear understanding and real takeaways that you can apply. Now, Yusuf or Ryan, if you are ready, we can start. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Amin. So, hello everyone. My name is Yusuf, and I work at Dar Blockchain as a software engineer and crypto expert. So let's talk about Educational Friday once again, because there are maybe new participants to this space. So the Educational Friday is a space to learn, connect, and innovate. So we'll talk about blockchain, crypto, and every time we'll launch a new topic, okay? So right now I'll let Ryan present himself. You can go on, Ryan.
Yeah, thank you, Yusuf. So my name is Ryan Harhouri. I'm a software engineer at Latency. And now I'll be delivering you some of the technical aspects on the Hedera technology. So we'll deep dive into this later in our presentation today. And I hope, guys, you enjoy it, and I'm sure that you'll learn something today. Okay, so we'll start with sharing our screen. So please, one of the moderators, can you please give me the access to share my screen?
Emin, are you still here?
Yes, I'm here. Just it's taking some
Okay.
seconds. Okay.
Thank you very much.
Yep. Thank you. Thank you. So, is it good? You see my screen?
Yes, I can see it. So
It's clear.
let's first start with the research topics of our last session, where we talked about blockchain fundamentals. So if anyone has done any research, he can send us in a chat or maybe come into the stage. Okay, let's wait a few seconds. I'm seeing in the chat, Omar saying we will use Solidity in this session. So no, we won't use Solidity in this session. Okay, guys. So we can talk about the research topics later on in the chat of Discord. So Ryan, you can move on to our today's presentation.
Okay.
I can see the presentation, Ryan.
Okay.
Okay.
I'll reach it.
Yes.
Yep. Okay.
Okay, yeah. So I already talked about the Educational Friday. We can move on so to today's plan. Okay. So welcome once again, everyone, to Chapter 2, where we will explore the evolution from Bitcoin to Hedera Hashgraph, diving into the key technological and governance differences that set them apart. So, we decided to talk today about Hedera technology because DAR blockchain is offering a free Hedera certificate this month. So we all believe that this certificate will bring career opportunities for you. And now I will let Ryan, my colleague who is an Hedera trainer, talk about more details about this certificate.
Thank you, Yusuf. So basically, the Hedera certification encapsulate all the technical part and theoretical part of the Hedera technology and the DLTs in general. So it's a big opportunity for you guys to explore more the DLT technologies and especially the Hedera technology because it implements new consensus mechanism. We'll deep dive into those later. So I encourage you guys to take these certificates seriously. It will be, like Yusuf said, a big opportunity for you and for your resumes. And yeah, we'll talk about it more. Okay.
Okay, thank you, Ryan. We can move on to the next slide. Okay. So, as we said last session, Bitcoin was the first successful decentralized digital currency, pioneering blockchain technology with its proof of work consensus mechanism. However, blockchain has limitations in terms of scalability, speed, and energy efficiency. Hedera Hashgraph introduce a few consensus model such as gossip about gossip and virtual voting, which offers faster transactions, greater security, and lower energy consumption. So we can move on to the next slide, Ryan. What is Hedera Network? So Hedera was founded in 2018. It is a public distributed ledger technology that utilizes the Hashgraph consensus algorithm. Unlike traditional blockchain networks, which rely on sequential blocks, Hashgraph uses gossip about gossip protocol, virtual voting, making it faster, fairer, and more secure. Hedera was co-founded by Lemon Baird, the inventor of the Hashgraph consensus algorithm and the pioneer in distributed computing, and also by Mans Harmon, who is a seasoned technology executive and expert in cybersecurity and enterprise systems. Next. So now we are going to talk about the governance and the compliance of Hedera. Next. So in this slide, we can see the Hedera Governing Council. Hedera's governance model is unique and decentralized, ensuring fair representation across industries, regions, and organizations. Unlike traditional blockchain governance, where few entities may control decision making, Hedera's governing council consists of up to 39 world-leading organizations, making it one of the most enterprise-driven decentralized network. So, key features of the Hedera Governing Council: up to 39 leading global organizations. Members include multinational corporations, universities, and technology firms, all contributing to the growth and security of the network. Also, 20 plus unique industries across 5 continents. This ensures diverse representation and prevents centralization by any single sector or region. We can also mention that there is an equal voting. There are equal voting rights, 2.6% influence per member. Each organization has an equal say in governance decisions by preventing power consolidation. So why does this governing council matters? Because Hedera's enterprise-grade governance model ensures stability, regulatory compliance, and strategic growth. Unlike blockchain networks controlled by minors or small groups, Hedera's approach distributes power fairly while maintaining the highest levels of security and transparency. Next. Let's now dive into the Hedera Governing Council. Hedera's Governing Council is composed of the most respected enterprises, technology leaders, financial institutions, and universities. These organizations play a critical role in governing, maintaining, and growing the Hedera network, ensuring it remains decentralized, secure, and enterprise-grade. Who are the members? The council consists of global powerhouses across multiple industries, including technology and telecom, such as Google, IBM, LG, Dutch Telecom, Tata Communications, Wipro, and Zain. In finance and banking, we can find FIS, Nomura, Shinhan Bank, and Standard Bank. In the legal and consulting category, we can find DLI Piper and Dantons. In blockchain and Web3, we can mention Chainlink Labs and Swile. Regarding energy and infrastructure, we can mention EDF. Regarding retail and consumer goods, we can mention Magalu. So, regarding the future of Hedera, with the world-class companies, as I mentioned right now, shaping the future of its direction, Hedera is designed for long-term success, making it one of the most trusted and scalable decentralized networks available today. Next. Let's now talk about the compliance in the Hedera network. Hedera ensures regulatory compliance, transparency, and security across its operations, making it an enterprise-friendly distributed ledger technology. Unlike many blockchain projects, Hedera takes a proactive approach to compliance, avoiding regulatory pitfalls and ensuring long-term adoption. So the key compliance areas that we can mention. First, the risk appetite. No ICO. So ICO means initial coin offering or direct retail token sales, ensuring compliance with the securities laws. Also, no market making activities, maintaining decentralization and avoiding price manipulation. Oversight by a Fortune 500 corporate council, reinforcing corporate governance and legitimacy. Next, we can talk also about Can you also about government relations? So Hedera has a transparent engagement with the SEC, which is the Securities and Exchange Commission, since 2018. Regarding the geopolitical strategy, US domiciled, it's US domiciled to ensure adherence to US regulations. For the internal compliance, it's accredited investors only in strategic financial dealings, reducing legal risks. And finally, regarding the network compliance, the mainnet is geo-filtering to comply with the region-specific regulations. Hedera is mutable features for GDPR compliance, allowing data modifications where legally required. We can also talk about the block list, clawback, and KYC functionalities, providing enterprise grade and security measures. Yeah, next.
Before moving to the next slides, I think that we have some questions on the chat, and
I'll
I
check that.
think it is important to have a clear idea about Hedera, its positioning as a strategic in a strategic way, and how they are
Yes.
positioned themselves as
Yes.
how to say it, the corporate, the blockchain or the GLT, dedicated, fully dedicated for companies and public institutions. I think it is important to tackle this subject, since like all the other blockchains, in exception of some of them, they are mainly focusing on communities, building communities, and building hype around their communities. But what differs Hedera from the other blockchain is that they are, how to say it, or sustain oriented. They are oriented to sustainability through having an approach that engage public institutions, existing businesses, to merge to the world of Web3. I think it is important to mention that. And if you have used anything to add, or Ryan, feel free.
Absolutely, yes. I totally agree with that. So, as you said, they are oriented to sustainability and also to long-term success. As we can see, for example, here in the council members of Hedera, we can see a lot of big names. And And a very interesting question caught my eye right now in the chat. So Ayrosh is saying, what are the opportunities learning Hedera opens for solo developers or small teams, freelancers? Can you answer him, Ryan?
Okay. So basically, we know that Web3 is at its beginning, and it's going with an exponential curve, let's say. So being in the boat right now will bring you more big opportunities in the future. And when I say in the future, we're talking like from now to maximum to 1 year. So the adoption of the Hedera ecosystem is big. The latest news released by Hedera was that there is a diamond reserve was put it in Hedera worth of $3 billion. So basically, the industry is oriented themselves now to the Web3 ecosystems, mainly Hedera, and I think it will be a big opportunity for you guys to like get the certification and be earlier in these stages.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think that this part is the strategic part where you can go in few years or in 10 years, and how you can build an entire career on the top of the Hedera blockchain. But what we can promise from now as Dar blockchain, the one that is the entity that is partnering with Hedera and promoting its blockchain, what we can say that we are going to provide is first some internship inside their blockchain or the partner entities with Hedera. This is the first thing. Second thing, some work and job opportunities that we are going to provide during this year and the next year for people that are engaged in our courses of training. Third, for people who are willing to develop their projects, their ideas in Web3, we provide them a space to learn through the first place through the hackathon initiatives that were hosted during the last year. I'd like to mention, like, we had three hackathons on Hedera, just on Hedera. And there is some big initiatives in collaboration between Hedera Dal blockchain that is going to change the entire how to say it, entrepreneurial ecosystem in Tunisia. I cannot say it now, but in the next few days, I'm sure that something great is coming. We will share it with you, and we will inform it with you. And finally, for the project that that gained a certain level of maturity in their process of development on the top of Hedera, they have the grant opportunities to fund their projects and to move forward with their ideas. I think these are the four decent and short-term advantages for someone who's willing to have the Hedera certification. It is an how to say it. It is a door for a path, and I wish that everyone here can join this path and discover it by himself. Sorry for interrupting, Yusuf and Ryan. Feel free to continue.
Thank you very much, Talel. So let's continue. Right now, we are going to get a deep dive into HTS ecosystem. So by HTS, I mean Hedera Token Service. So the Hedera Token Service is supported by a robust ecosystem of partners, service providers, and infrastructure components, ensuring its adoption across multiple industries. So first, we can talk about the wallets and custody providers. HTS tokens can be securely stored and managed through various custodial and non-custodial wallets, including Ledger, BitGo, BRD, Coinomi, My HBAR wallet, IV wallet, and also institutional custody solutions like on-chain custodian and InvestX. We can also talk about the SDKs, software development kits. So developers can integrate HTS into their applications using SDKs for various programming languages. We can talk about Java, JavaScript, Go, and .NET, making it accessible to developers worldwide. Third, we have the token issuers. HTS is leveraged by companies and projects issuing various types of digital assets, including Chopra Foundation, Tune.fm, Power Transition, Tuku, Dovu, Galaxy, and Rectify. Fourth, we have the exchanges. HTS-based tokens can be traded on multiple exchanges, providing liquidity and market access. We can mention Bittrex Global, Upbit, OKX, and many others. Regarding the security audit and assurance, Hedera works with top-tier security and compliance firms to ensure the integrity of the network, such as Onfido, TRM Labs, QuantStamp, and FPC compliance. We also have the blockchain explorers, so users and developers can track transactions and network activity through blockchain explorers such as hashhash.info, Kabuto, Dragonglass, and Netkey. Finally, we can mention the standards and systems integrators. So enterprise adoption is driven by leading technology firms, helping businesses integrate HTS into their ecosystems. We can mention IBM, LimeChain, Metrica, TXMQ, BCW, Interwork Alliance, and OpenCrowd. So to sum up, the Hedera token service is redefining digital asset issuance, making it a powerful alternative to legacy blockchain tokenization standards. Next. Yes. Now let's talk about technology leadership. So Hedera Hashgraph is designed to be the most efficient, secure, and fair distributed ledger technology available today. Its unique Hashgraph consensus algorithm offers advantages over traditional blockchain architectures in terms of speed, security, fairness, and stability. So why do we say that Hedera is fast? Hedera is fast because it surpasses Ethereum and blockchain networks in daily transaction volume due to its high throughput and efficiency. 10,000 plus transactions per second achieved on Ledger without charging. Scalability roadmap. So Hedera plans to scale beyond 10,000 TPS in the future. We can also talk about the instant finality. Transactions are confirmed in seconds, unlike proof of work blockchain that require multiple confirmation. So Hedera is secure because it ensures enterprise-grade security through asynchronous Byzantine fault tolerance ABFT consensus, which is mathematically proven to be the most secure form of distributed consensus. There's no single leader. It protects against DDoS attacks, ensuring continuous network uptime. It is proof of stake, Sybil resistance. So it prevents the network of the manipulation by bad actors. And finally, there is no spoofing attacks. So all signatures must come from verified nodes, preventing identity fraud. We can also say that Hedera is fair. It has a unique gossip and virtual voting algorithms that ensure that the network remains fair and resistant to manipulation. We can also talk about fair timestamps, fair ordering, and fair access. Finally, Hedera has proven to be stable. Hedera provides cost-effective and predictable transaction fees, making it ideal for enterprise and DeFi applications. Price stability in USD, unlike Ethereum's fluctuating gas fees. So we all here know that the gas fees on Ethereum cost a lot, especially in bull markets. So that's it, and also the ultra low fees. So 0.001 transaction using the Hedera consensus service HCAS is very cheap in my opinion. We can move on to the next slide, Ryan. Let's now talk about the utility of the Hedera token. So the Hedera token is called the Hashbar. So the dual role of Hashbar is fueling and securing the Hedera network. So Hashbar is the native cryptocurrency of the Hedera network, as I said. It's designed to be energy efficient, scalable, and secure. Unlike traditional cryptocurrencies that serve a single function, Hbar has a dual role. It acts as both network fuel and a security mechanism through proof of stake (POS). So let's start first by explaining how it's network fuel. So Hbar is used to pay for network services, making it an essential part of the Hedera ecosystem. Hbar is required to process transactions, including transferring Hbar between accounts, minting and managing fungible and non-fungible tokens, NFTs, via the network, via the Hedera token service. Also executing smart contracts with the Hedera smart contract service. Logging immutable data through the Hedera consensus service. And also fees are paid to consensus nodes for providing bandwidth, computational power, and storage, ensuring that the network remains fast and cost efficient. Let's now explain the network protection. So as we previously said while defining the Hedera network, so Hedera is a public open source proof of stake network where Hbar plays a crucial role in security and governance. So let's first talk about staking for consensus, where users stake Hbar to network nodes so they contribute to securing transactions and maintaining decentralization. We'll dive in that later. We can also mention the weighted voting for security. Nodes with staked Hbar have weighted influence over consensus, making it difficult for malicious actors to manipulate the network. Unlike traditional proof of work based blockchains, Hedera's proof of stake model makes attacks highly impractical. So there's no 51% attack, so it's really resistance. To take control of consensus, an attacker would need to acquire over 1/3 of the total Hbar, making it financially unfeasible. So final thoughts about Hbar. It is more than just a cryptocurrency. It is the fuel and security foundation of the Hedera Hashgraph, enabling enterprise adoption, financial applications, and next generation decentralized services. Let's move on next. Here we can see the Tier 1 allocation categories updated in December 2024. So Hedera's token allocation is designed to support the long-term growth, governance, and development of the ecosystem. This allocation ensures that resources are effectively distributed across key areas, fostering network stability, innovation, and adoption. So in the table, we can get key allocation insights, 50.5% ecosystem and open source development, 25.4% purchase agreements, 16.2% network governance and operations, 7.7% initial development and licensing, and finally 0.13% unallocated supply. Next. Okay. So in this table, we can see the evolution of distributed ledger technology, Bitcoin versus Ethereum versus Hedera. So as blockchain technology evolves, we clearly see that there is a progression from first generation, which is Bitcoin, then to second generation, which is Ethereum. And now we have the third generation Hedera Hashgraph. So this comparison highlights why Hedera is a superior solution in terms of speed, cost, efficiency, and scalability. Next. Okay, right here we have some metrics. So the latency of Hedera is approximately 2.9 seconds. So it's near instant finality, ensuring fast and efficient transactions. It's ideal for real-time applications, financial transaction, and enterprise use cases. The accounts on the mainnet are about 7 million accounts, so we can clearly see a growing adoption of Hedera, with millions of users leveraging Hedera's decentralized infrastructure. It also signals strong community engagement and increasing institutional adoption. So today the circulating supply of Ashbar is 39.26 billion. So it ensures liquidity, staking participation, and ecosystem sustainability. And the total Ashbar supply is about 50 billion. So it's a fixed supply model that ensures predictability and long-term value stability. Hedera's governance structure prevents inflation and ensures strategic allocation. Next. Let's now talk about the ecosystem. The key components of the Hedera ecosystem are the applications. So developers build decentralized applications such as smart contracts, tokenization with the HTS, and data verification. Also, the developers and retail users, the exchanges, users can buy, sell, and trade HBAR on cryptocurrency exchanges. The exchanges facilitate liquidity, allowing seamless HBAR transactions worldwide. Another key component of the ecosystem are the network nodes. So Hedera nodes process transactions and maintain network security. And you can also talk about the Hedera network. So the network is governed by a distributed council of enterprises to ensure fairness, scalability, and compliance. So Hedera's ecosystem is designed for growth, adoption, and enterprise integration, making it one of the most robust and scalable distributed networks today. Next. Let's now talk about staking on Hedera. So as I said before, Hedera utilizes a proof of stake consensus mechanism, where staking HBAR helps secure the network while rewarding participants. Unlike traditional proof of work blockchain that requires high energy consumption, Hedera's proof of stake model ensures efficiency, security, and decentralization. So at the right, we can see the supported wallets for staking. Users can stake HBAR using secure and Hedera compatible wallets. We can see Blade Wallet, Ashpack, My HBAR Wallet, Uphold, Walla Wallet, and Yamgo. So staking on HBAR is a win-win. Stakers contribute to network security while earning rewards, making Hedera a sustainable and efficient and also scalable blockchain alternative. So that's it by my side. Now I'll let my friend Ryan deep dive to have a deep dive into Hedera technology. You can go on, Ryan.
Okay. Thank you so much, Yusuf, for those insights. That was very impressive from your part. So we'll dive into the Hedera technology right now, more technical. So basically, Hedera offers three services. The first service is the smart contract service. Then we have the token service and the consensus service. So what does each one do? So starting with the smart contract service. So it gives us the ability to deploy our smart contracts, to interact with smart contract, and even more. So for the token service, we can create FTs, standing for fungible tokens, and we can create also NFTs, standing for non-fungible tokens, and we can interact with those tokens. We can add supply, we can add some attributes to the NFTs and all. We will see examples more in the code. For the consensus service, it's used to subscribe to messaging, which is a new feature delivered by Hedera. So the use cases for the consensus service is like, let's say, social media, or so basically you will be creating a topic, and then subscribers will be subscribing to those topic. Every time there's a change in that specific topic, they will be notified. So basically, this is the consensus service. So looking now to the overall architecture of this. So we have the mainnet, where we will be trying to reach consensus for every transaction, interacting with those services we talked about. Then we have the application layer on top of them. So basically that's it. Okay, moving on to the Hedera Hashgraph algorithm. So we know that blockchain are sequential blocks related to each other using the hash. So each block contain like a few attributes, naming them like the index, the timestamp where this block was created, and the previous hash, and the hash, and the data. So we'll talk about the previous hash. So in this photo, we have the block 0. Let's suppose it's the genesis block that refers to the first block that was created in that blockchain. So we don't have the previous hash, or we have the previous hash, but the address is like 00000. So it doesn't have like a previous block before it, because it's the genesis block. Then we have its own hash. For the next block, it will refers to that block using the hash. So block 1 will have in the previous hash attribute the hash of the block number 0, and moving on to build that blockchain. So some insights about blockchain. So blockchain is a data structured block linked to one another via cryptographic hashes sequentially. A block contains transaction, timestamp, digital signature, and hashes. Each new block refers to the previous block hash all the way to the genesis block, the first block that was created. The nodes store the entire history of ordered events, all dating back to the genesis block. So this means that the node will keep track of the history what happened in that specific blockchain to like refer to every event or every transaction that happened there. So we'll take an examples of blockchains that uses this technology. So we have the Bitcoin and Ethereum. Now moving on to the magnificent innovation by Hedera, which is the directed acyclic graph or DAG, which is a new concept of using DLTs. It's a data structure that grows in one direction. It's composed of vertices and edges, does not reference previous vertices and any given point on the graph. It doesn't depend on being sequential. It's not a type of blockchain. And we can take the famous example of GitHub. So we know if you are developers, you will know the Git branches. So we have the main branch of the master branch, then new branches created from that specific branch. So basically, this is how the DAG works. So we have like the first vertices or the first node that will allow the transaction. Then we will have like a gossip protocol that will be sending the information to the neighbors or to the other nodes. And we'll talk about this later. So basically, this is the directed acyclic graph of the Hedera. So deeping dive into this. So in here we have an example of 6, 7, 8 nodes. So the first node is we called Alice, then Bob, Carol, Dave, Ellen, Frank, Jenna, and Hank. So in here we'll see an example where Alice will initiate a transaction. Alice created the transaction, and now it will send it to the verification part or the gossiping part, where those nodes will try to reach consensus of that transaction. So basically, the gossip will start. Then Alice will tell Dave that I will be transacting this amount of tokens, or this I will be doing a transaction on this chain. So Dave will have the information, then send it to Bob. Alice will not stop there, and it will be start gossiping to other nodes to spare the information. So Alice will tell Gina, I'm transacting this, and Dave will do the same. Then Bob will have the information, Gina will have it, so they will start sharing the information with all the neighbors. And the finality here is that everyone in the node will have the information that Alice did a transaction on the chain. So in here, while Alice doing the gossip, Bob will initiate a transaction, and Carol also will initiate another transaction. So how this will be happening? So Bob will tell Frank, I'll do this transaction. Carol will tell Gina, I'll do this. Then they will start gossiping again about those transactions, and we'll have the finality that all the nodes have the information that Alice, Bob, and Carol did transaction at a specific time. So those are the times where every node received the transaction or confirmed the transaction. The question here is how we will take the exact timestamp of that transaction. So it's very easy and it's very genius from the Hedera part. So we'll take all the timestamps from every node. Then we will take the median. It's easiest at that. So we'll take the median. Then we'll affect every timestamp to the relative transaction. Okay, so let's imagine this the thing as a graph. So we will have Alice, Bob, Carol, Dave, Ellen, Frank, Gina, Hank as nodes. We will draw them as nodes, as a graph, because it's a directed acyclic graph. So every node will be talking, will be gossiping to the neighbors, and we will have something like this. We can like imagine it like this. Okay, so let's move to some codes. Okay, let me share my screen, my entire screen. Okay. Okay, so basically we talked about how we can reach consensus with Hedera. So now we'll be taking a peek of how we can use the Hedera SDK, or we can use the services that Hedera deliver us, like the HTS, which is the Hedera Token Service, or the Hedera Smart Contract Service, or the Consensus Service. So we'll be doing a small example here by creating a token, an FT, a fungible token, and specifying a supply, then give, let's say, Alice, one of the users, an amount of that supply and try to make a transaction between Alice and my wallet. So basically what we need to start building on top of Hedera is, it's very easy. So we'll be needing just an account, a testnet account, of course. So we can go to Hedera, portal.hedera.com. So I'll be sending it in the chat. Okay, then you can easily put your email and you'll receive a confirmation, then do the steps. It's an easy steps. Then we will get those information. I know that I shouldn't be sharing my private key and account ID with you, but it's a testnet account. You can hack it, guys. So let's move on. So what we need else? So we need to initiate a Node.js project. Okay, so a Node.js project. So the dependencies support environment to our project, to the environment. So, and the Hedera SDK. So just you can search it. It's an npm. You can use npm or yarn, or what do you prefer? So basically, what we do then we'll be importing those functions from the Hedera SDK, and of course we'll be importing our account ID and our private key, because we'll be creating or deploying those tokens. We'll be paying the fees now. So basically, the .env will look like this, something like this. So we'll have my account ID and my private key. Then in here, what we'll be doing, we'll start a function called create FT, stands for fungible token. So first we'll be checking that if the algorithm did import our account ID and my private key or not. If not, we'll be throwing an error. Then we'll create a client for testnet. And of course, if we are wishing to deploy it on a mainnet, we have just to change the this client. Okay, we'll set our operators to my account ID and my private keys. This stands for who's the one responsible for paying fees or interacting with the HTS. So it will be my wallet. In here, we'll be setting some parameters like the default max transaction fee or the max query payments. Then we'll be creating a new wallet for Alice. So in order to create a new wallet or a new account, we'll start by generating a private key using the private key function, and then the generate ed25519 function, of course. This will return a private key, and from that private key we'll be generating a public key. We'll need them later. Then what we'll be doing, so we'll initiate the balance of that newly created account by 1000 tiny bar. So how to do that? We'll use a function called account create transaction. This is imported from the HTS or the Hedera token service we talked about earlier. So we'll use it to set the key for the treasury public key and to initiate the balance using the HBAR function. Then every time we make a transaction, we have to execute it with our client because, as I said, our client or my wallet will be the one responsible for paying the fees and or paying the fees. Yeah. So after that, after making any transaction, the best practices is to receive the receipt. So what is the response from that transaction? Is it was successful? It was failed? What happened? So we'll be getting the receipt by declaring a variable called getReceipt. And from that transaction, we will use a function called getReceipt and we'll execute it with our client. And from that response, we're getting the account ID. We just need the account ID to use it later in our manipulation. So we'll store it in a variable called treasury ID, and we'll print it, of course, to showcase it. After that, we will be verifying if the newly created account have the initial balance that we ordered to be or not. So we'll create a variable called account balance, and we'll use the account balance query to query our account balance. We will set the account ID to the treasury ID, and we will execute it, of course, with our client. And then we will print, and we say the balance of the treasury account is something. Okay. So after that, we'll be creating the Alice account. So Alice private key will be generating as we do earlier using the private key function and the generate ed this function. From that private key, we'll be generating a public key. And after that, we'll do the same steps. We'll initiate the Alice account with 1000 TidyBuyer. And we will get the receipt, of course. And then we console log the account ID of Alice. After that, we have to check if the transaction was successful or not. So we'll be using account query balance to query the balance of Alice's account, and we'll print it. Then we will be creating our token. So in order to create the token, we have to use the token create transaction. So we will set the attributes for our token, starting with the set token name. So the token name we choose to be DAR blockchain. We'll set the token symbol to DB. The token type will be token type dot fungible common, which stands for the FT or the fungible token. If you want to create like a non-fungible token, so we have the option here, non-fungible unique. This creates NFT, but we have to go through different steps. Maybe we'll have the chance to share this information with you later, baby guys. But for now, we'll stick with this. We will set the decimals to 2, initial supply to 10,000, and the treasury account to our treasury account that we created earlier, and the token supply to infinite, and supply key, we have to provide supply key. Otherwise, we don't have the re-access control. So we can't, if we don't specify the supply key, we can't mint or burn tokens. So if we have to, this is so important. The supply key is important. Then we'll freeze this transaction with our client in order to make further manipulation. Like what? Like signing the transaction. Of course, every transaction have to be signed by its owner. So in here we create a transaction, a variable called token create sign. We will await to token create this one. It was freezed earlier. We'll sign it with the treasury private key. Then we will execute it now it's the time to execute this transaction. It's ready to go. So of course we will be executing it with our client, which is my wallet. Then we'll get the receipt, of course, to get the token ID and to display it. So basically what we will do next, we will associate this token, this newly created token, the Dar blockchain token, to Alice account in order to give Alice the possibility to take some of the supply of that token and to make transaction with that token and all. So how to do that? We'll use the token associate transaction. We will set the account ID to Alice ID, and we'll set the token ID to our newly created token ID. We'll freeze it with our client, and then, of course, we have to sign this transaction with Alice private key. After that, we'll execute this transaction with our client, and of course, we'll get the receipt and print the Alice transaction status. It was successful or not. Okay. After that, we will check the balance before the transfer of those tokens, the treasury account. Then we will make the transfer to Alice account and recheck the balance. So basically, those are simple steps to understand how the manipulation of tokens and wallets and accounts, the creation of accounts, and yeah. So sorry, guys. Okay. And is there this one? Okay. So right now we'll execute this and see what happens. Okay. So the first thing was to create the treasury account. This is the account ID of the treasury account. The new treasury account balance is 1,000 tiny bar. It was successful. Alice account ID is this one. The new balance of Alice is 1,000 tiny bar. It was successful. We created the token in here. This is the token ID. We can check it on the oh, sorry. Yeah, I interrupt the. Okay, we'll do it again. As I said, we created this token, the Dar blockchain token, and the association of Dar blockchain token with Alice account was successful. The newly treasury balance is 10,000 units of Dar blockchain token, and Alice token is 0. Then we make a transfer. It was successful. The new treasury balance is 9995 units of Dar blockchain tokens, and Alice balance is 5 units. So right now we will be checking all of this in the Explorer. So as Yusuf mentioned, we use Hashback as our wallet, or we can use Blade, or there's a lot of possibilities. So basically, this is a testnet account. So we can check in here in the history. So what happened with my account? So there was like token transfer, token association, token creation, account creation, and more. So we can check like this one, the token creation. So we can see it on Hashscan. So Hashscan basically is the explorer of the Hedera. So we can check all the transactions that happened on top of the Hedera network by using this explorer. So let's see the details of that transaction. So the transaction is token create, the type. We reached its consensus at this time on February 14. So basically, the node that submitted my transaction is have the ID, this ID. The block number is this. The token ID is this, and it has the symbol DB. We can check it. So we have this token that was created. It's a fungible token called Dal blockchain, and its symbol is DB. What else we can see? Yeah, so the balances, we can see that who are the owners of that tokens. So basically this one is the treasury account, and this one is Alice account. So we make like a transaction from the treasury account of 5 tiny bars, I believe, to Alice account. So basically he shows us who are the holders of that specific token, of their blockchain tokens. Yep, I think that's all. So basically, guys, what I want to show you that the manipulation of the Hedera SDK, it's so easy. It's not that hard. It's like the same logic that goes on and on. So if we can create a token, we can create like how to say it, like we can like found the utility for that token, then launch our own projects. I'm trying to respond to the question of the solo developer. So you can like create your own enterprise by sitting on your desk. You can create a token, have like a great utility for that token, and start launching your own project. And you can like use Hedera SDK. You see, like it's not that hard to manipulate tokens and token transfer and all. The only, like, let's say it's not a problem, but the only challenge is to have great utility for your token and only settle to be like a billionaire, let's say. So thank you, guys. I think it's good for my part.
Thank you very much for your presentation, Ryan. I think it was very educational. So I want to know if there is any participant here that that wants to share his experience with the Hedera certification. So you can join us on stage. I think there is Druad Z that wants to share something with us. You can join us on stage if you want.
Droid Z.
Yeah, Druad Z.
This is Ayman, I believe. No.
Okay. I just invited you. I think you can talk now, Droid Z.
I'll resend the screen later.
Yeah, hello. عسلامة.
Hello, hello.
Hello,
Ça
hello.
va?
الحمد لله لاباس عليكم. هاي أنا أيمن.
مرحبا بك. أيمن عرفتك. سلام.
صافا لاباس.
كنت نجم تبارتاجي معناها لي بون مومون اللي عديتهم وقت اللي تعمل في السيرتيفيكاسيون إدارة مع العباد اللي حاضرة معانا. تسخي إيديال.
Alright, so when I was studying for the Hedera certificate, I had a great time learning about blockchain, Web3, and the Hedera ecosystem. The teachers were really explaining how everything works, and it was very informative. And for the exam, well, as I said last time, nowadays the people who are going to sit for the exam and pass it, hopefully, we're going to have it very easy, because it was a bit of a nightmare last time of the issues, the bugs, and the difficulty of the exam. But thank God we did it. Me, Rayan, and all the other participants who passed the exam. After that, we participated for the hackathon, the first one, I think. First one you did with the yes. It was challenging to find an idea and to implement, and how you can implement the Hedera ecosystem. Yeah, that one. Exactly. My team lost at the last round. We got elevated for the first round, and then we lost at this last round because our idea was not very implemented around Hedera and stuff. but it was a very entertaining experience as my first hackathon ever to go through in my life. And yeah, that's it. And aside from that, after a couple of weeks, me, Ryan, and Zainem, which is here with us, and I don't think Muhammad is here with us in this stage, right? Muhammad
Right, yeah.
Ghanmi.
It's not Leo.
Yeah. Yeah,
No, it's
Muhammad
not here.
Ghanmi, yeah. We went to study abroad. I don't know if anyone has tried to solve the puzzle that I posted in the under the chat. Yeah, you failed.
Yeah, there is someone that said I tried. It's Sanas.
Yeah, you failed.
You
You
know
failed
what?
because the first part I talked about the hackathon, and then I talked how we went abroad to study to learn. Yeah, broke people exactly. And yeah, exactly. We got an invitation to study in Switzerland at the University of Zurich. Me, Ryan, Zainab, and Muhammad. We got a 3 weeks boot camp in the summer during July, and we studied blockchain very deeply, more than we did here in Tunisia. And yeah, it was a very, very amazing experience, and thanks to all who were involved into gaining, enabling us this golden opportunity.
Yep,
So
yep. Thanks
yeah,
to their
Okay,
blockchain
great.
and Hedera
Uh,
Hashgraph, of course.
Okay, sorry to interrupt, guys. We have a question in the chat regarding this session. So Yumi Lassell is asking, I want to know what are mirror nodes comparing to Ethereum nodes. So I'll explain it. So mirror nodes in Hedera store and provide historical data from the Hedera network, but they don't participate in the consensus. So they allow efficient queuing of transaction history without overloading in the mainnet. But the Ethereum full nodes from the other side, they store the entire blockchain, they validate transaction, they execute smart contracts as well, and they help to secure the network by participating in the consensus. So the key difference between them both is that the Hedera's mirror nodes are read-only and optimized for data access, while the Ethereum's nodes are part of the consensus mechanism and they validate the transactions directly. I hope you will find my answer clear and simple. Let me know in the chat, okay?
Yeah.
So yeah, Talil just posted a reminder in the chat. Can guys just click on the link and yeah, thank you. Okay, I think it was clear. Ryan, can you share the presentation again so I can tell the guys about the
Yep.
research for next week? So for research topics to the next session, I want you guys to figure out what are the real use cases of Hedera. So you need to investigate industries and projects that are currently using Hedera Hashgraph. I also need you to figure out what are the challenges that Hedera is currently facing. And finally, I want you to think about the future of Hedera Hashgraph, such as predicting how Hedera might evolve in the next session, in the
Ryan,
next
do you hear
5 to 10
Yusuf?
years.
Yes, yes, I hear it.
Yes, he can hear me. Everyone can hear me here, or is there any issue with the sound? I don't know.
yes, I can hear you.
Okay, great. Next, Ryan. Okay, yes, sound is okay. So our next session, as usual, will be Friday, as our event is called Educational Friday. So it's going to be hosted as usual on our Discord, and the topic will be Ethereum. Okay.
Yep.
So any other participant here wants to share his experience with the the Hedera certificate. So I really advise anyone here to boost his Web3 knowledge with this certificate, because it will allow you to become an expert in Hedera and HBAR. It's an official Hedera certification. You will gain credibility, you will expand your opportunities, and you will finally be ahead in the blockchain revolution. So yeah, I'm seeing a lot of questions. Can answer a few of them. Okay, thank you for your clarification. Nidal is asking, can you explain please the use of KYC in Hedera ecosystem? Okay, can we go on to the slide 25? Can you go back to the slide 25, please?
This one?
Yes, I think
Yeah.
so.
Yep. The network compliance, I think.
Okay. So, for the KYC in the Hedera ecosystem, it's regarding the compliance, yes? So the KYC in the Hedera ecosystem plays a crucial role, especially for enterprise adoption, regulatory compliance, and financial applications. So where is it used in Hedera? So it's used first in the exchanges and the custodial services. I think many of you have encountered that while registering to an exchange such as Binance, OKX, and many other exchanges. So the exchange that support HBAR. So this ensures compliance with global IML, which is anti-money laundering regulations. Also, the KYC is used in token issuance and security tokens. It's also used in enterprise and government use cases. And finally, it's used in smart contracts and financial compliance. So smart contracts on Hedera can enforce KYC restrictions by preventing illicit transactions and fraud. So this is really important for DeFi protocol, institutional finance, and tokenized assets. I think my answer was clear. Let me know, Nidal, if it was clear or not, or if you have any other question. Thank you so much. But is it? No, in my opinion, I don't think it is controversial. I don't think so. You can develop more. Why, in your opinion, it's controversial? I'm not saying that controversial at all. There's another question. Maybe Ryan, you can answer that. How are new HBARs created? Do you have any idea, Ryan? Or
How
anyone
are
in the,
HBAR created?
yeah,
Okay,
or
that's an
anyone in
interesting
the
question.
chat, maybe?
Yeah. So, how that's okay. So I believe that new created HBAR are created by the process of incentiving, like by the fees. Let's say by collecting the fees, by interacting, invalidating. We know that Hedera have like 39 nodes, so those nodes will be collecting fees, and those fees are the newly created HBAR. Let's say in every transaction we'll be paying like 0.1 H bar. So this 0.1 H bar will be created. Yeah, I believe this is how the newly created H bar is.
Yeah, so to answer this question, unlike Bitcoin or Ethereum, where new coins are created through mining or staking rewards, H bars are pre-minted, so they have a fixed total supply, as I said in the presentation, of 50 billion H bar. So they were pre-minted at the launch in 2018 when Hedera Hashgraph was created. And that's it. So Hedera is pre-generated its entire fixed supply of 50 billion H bar at the Genesis, so at the day of its launch. Okay. Is it clear? Can you send us in the chat to tell us if it's clear or not, or if you need more details about that? Okay.
Okay. So there's let's see the questions.
Yeah, I think there is another question. Nidal said it's clear. Okay, let me go to the other question.
Yep, Farouk is asking the
Yeah.
difference between fetching data from mirror nodes and consensus node. Do fetching data from consensus node cost fees? So basically, let me explain once more the mirror nodes. So mirror nodes are nodes that aren't stored in on-chain. They are off-chain nodes that keep track of the what's happening on the mainnet, let's say, on the consensus node. So when, let's say, a transaction is happening now and it's stored in the consensus node, it will be sent to the mirror node to store it elsewhere in the cloud or in databases or something like not on-chain. It's an off-chain storage. And after that, we'll be using like the consensus service to interact with those mirror nodes to get information. And it's a free, it doesn't cost anything to get data from mirror nodes. But yes, to answer your questions, it does cost fee to fetch data from consensus node.
Yeah. Thank you, Ryan, for your explanation. So to sum it up, for general data access, you can use mirror nodes because, as he said, it's free and efficient. But for real-time validation, you should use consensus nodes because they cost H bar fees. Okay. So I hope it's clear.
Yep.
Yeah. That's it. So maybe if you want to close, Talil.
Yes, sure.
All right,
I
guys.
think it is. Yeah, go
Okay.
ahead.
Okay. So, all right, that wraps up today's session, guys. Thank you, Yusuf. Thank you, Ryan. Thank you, Talal. Big shout out to everyone who joined, asked questions, and shared their thoughts. This is what Education Friday is all about. As we always say, we're here to learn, grow, and build together. And it's always great to have these real discussions with you all. Welcome to the new ones too. If you found today's session valuable, please make sure to stay connected. We do this like every Friday for you, and there's always something new to explore. Also, feel free to drop your thoughts in the chat. Like, for example, what stood out the most for you today, or like what can be enhanced more, or like what can we add more. Before we go, just a quick reminder, the Hedera blockchain certification will be open for you if you're serious about, like, let's say Web3 and want to level up with the recognized certification in the ecosystem. This is your chance now. Don't just learn, get certified. That's what I believe in. Also, if you're not in our Telegram channel yet, please join our Telegram. Tarel will share the link of our Telegram channel in the chat. Please make sure to join for more discussion and more opportunities, educational and for business too. Thanks again for being part of this, and see you all next time. Thank you all. Keep learning and keep building, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you, Amin. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you for your attention.
Thank you, everyone. Bye bye.